Picture a master chef preparing the most delicate fish. If he presses too hard while filleting, the meat crumbles. If he forces the knife, the flesh tears. But with gentle precision, allowing the blade to follow the natural lines of the fish, perfect cuts emerge effortlessly. This ancient Chinese metaphor reveals a profound truth about power. Sometimes the strongest action is knowing when not to act. We live in an age of maximum control. Our smartphones track every step, our workplaces monitor every keystroke, our governments watch every transaction. We've created systems that promise total management of reality. Yet paradoxically, the more we try to control, the more chaotic life becomes. Stress levels soar, anxiety disorders multiply, and we find ourselves exhausted from fighting battles we never needed to fight. Ancient Taoist sages understood something our modern world has forgotten. True power comes not from force, but from alignment. Not from pushing against nature, but from moving with its currents. They called this principle Wu Wei, the art of effortless effectiveness. Think of a skilled sailor navigating stormy seas. A novice might fight the waves, wrestling with the wheel, burning energy in futile resistance. But an experienced captain reads the wind patterns, adjusts the sails, and lets the very forces that seem threatening carry the ship to safety. The difference isn't in strength, it's in wisdom. This wisdom applies far beyond sailing. Consider how we approach personal relationships. Many people exhaust themselves trying to control their partners, friends, or children. They push for changes, demand specific behaviors, and create elaborate systems to manage others' actions. The result? Resentment, rebellion, and relationships that feel more like negotiations than connections. The alternative approach seems almost counterintuitive. Create space instead of pressure. Trust instead of control. Allow people room to be themselves and watch how they naturally gravitate toward growth and positive change. A plant doesn't grow faster when you pull on its leaves. It flourishes when given proper conditions and left alone to do what plants do best. This doesn't mean becoming passive or indifferent. It means learning to distinguish between helpful influence and harmful interference. A master gardener waters the soil, provides sunlight, and removes weeds, but never tries to force a rose to bloom on command. The same principle governs our relationship with change itself. Western culture often treats change as an enemy to be conquered or controlled. We make rigid 5-year plans, resist unexpected developments, and exhaust ourselves trying to maintain static conditions in a dynamic world. But nature shows us a different way. Water never fights gravity. It finds the path of least resistance and gradually carves through solid rock. Seasons don't struggle against time. They flow naturally from one to the next, each bringing its own gifts. Trees don't resist wind. They bend gracefully and avoid breaking. When we align ourselves with change rather than opposing it, we discover hidden opportunities. The job loss that seemed devastating opens doors to better careers. The relationship that ended creates space for deeper love. The crisis that felt overwhelming reveals inner strengths we never knew we possessed. Ancient Chinese philosopher Zhuangzi illustrated this through the story of a master archer. When competing for clay prizes, the archer hit every target with perfect accuracy. But when gold was offered as a reward, his hands trembled and his shots went wild. The external focus on future rewards had disrupted his natural ability to perform in the present moment. This reveals why so many talented people underperform in high-stakes situations. Their attention splits between the task at hand and imagined future outcomes. They're no longer in the flow state where peak performance happens naturally. They're caught between what is and what might be, unable to fully inhabit either reality. Professional athletes understand this intimately. The basketball player who makes 90% of practice free throws but misses crucial game-winning shots is experiencing this split attention. The musician who plays beautifully in rehearsal but stumbles during concerts is fighting the same internal battle between presence and projection. The solution isn't to stop caring about outcomes, it's to care so deeply about the process that outcomes take care of themselves. When we fully commit to the present action, future results align naturally. This is why meditation masters spend years learning simply to breathe consciously, why martial artists practice basic movements thousands of times, why artists sketch the same subject repeatedly. They're not trying to achieve future mastery, they're cultivating present awareness. And from that awareness, mastery emerges as naturally as fruit appears on a well-tended tree. This principle extends to our relationship with material possessions and social status. Our culture constantly pushes us toward accumulation, more money, bigger houses, higher positions, expanded influence. But like climbers scaling ever higher peaks, we discover that each achievement only reveals the next mountain to conquer. Taoist wisdom suggests a radically different approach. Determine what you actually need, then let go of the excess. A bird needs only one branch to perch on. A mouse drinks only until its thirst is quenched. They don't accumulate beyond necessity, so they remain free to move when conditions change. This isn't about poverty or deprivation. It's about liberation. When we're not weighed down by excessive possessions, obligations, and ambitions, we can respond fluidly to life's opportunities. We become like water, able to flow around obstacles rather than crashing against them. The businessman who releases his desperate need for status often finds that respect comes naturally. The artist who stops chasing fame discovers authentic creative expression. The lover who ceases demanding perfection from their partner experiences deeper intimacy than they ever imagined possible. This is the profound paradox of letting go. We find what we truly want by releasing our grip on what we think we need. We discover our real power by surrendering our illusion of control. We achieve mastery by embracing our natural beginner's mind. Modern neuroscience validates what ancient sages intuited. The brain performs optimally when it's relaxed and focused, not when it's tense and striving. The most creative insights emerge during rest periods, not during forced brainstorming sessions. The deepest learning happens through play and exploration, not through rigid drilling and testing. Perhaps it's time to trust the wisdom embedded in our very biology, to stop swimming upstream against the current of existence and learn to navigate by working with life's natural flow. To discover that true strength lies not in forcing outcomes, but in creating conditions where positive outcomes can emerge naturally. As the ancient Tao Te Ching reminds us, nothing in the world is softer than water, yet nothing surpasses it in overcoming the hard and strong. The gentlest approach often proves most effective. The softest touch creates the most lasting change. The deepest wisdom lies in knowing when to act and when to simply allow.